Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we will talk about scholarships for international students in Canada in 2025. Canada remains a top destination for international students and immigrants due to its quality education, welcoming environment, and strong economic opportunities. However, in 2024 and beyond, the immigration landscape is undergoing significant changes. Scholarships for international students in 2025 are evolving to meet growing demands, while recent express entry draws in the backlog of immigration cases in major cities signal challenges in processing. At the same time, misinformation about immigration poses risks for international students, and reports of increased clandestine border crossings raise concerns about Canada's border security. As debates continue, questions arise about the future of Canada's immigration system and its ability to balance opportunity with regulation. Canada, known for its welcoming approach to international students, offers many scholarships aimed at making education more accessible to those from around the globe. With a new cap on the number of new international students getting study permits, Canada continues to offer opportunities for bright students to excel in academics. With the rising costs of education, scholarships not only alleviate the financial burden but also provide access to world-class institutions. This comprehensive video delves into the various scholarships available for international students in Canada for the 2025 academic year, offering insights on how to secure these opportunities, what they entail, and how they can transform your academic journey. Introduction to scholarships in Canada. An equally robust system of financial aid for international scholars matches Canada's reputation for high-quality education. Whether you're looking to pursue undergraduate, graduate, or doctoral studies, there are scholarships tailored to every level of education. These range from government-funded initiatives to university-specific awards and private scholarships, each designed to attract and support bright minds from all corners of the world. Before diving into specifics, it's crucial to understand the landscape of scholarships in Canada. Diversity. Scholarships vary in type, including merit-based, need-based, country-specific, or field-specific awards. Funding sources. They come from government bodies, educational institutions, private organizations, and sometimes even individual donors. Coverage. Some scholarships cover full tuition, while others might include living expenses, travel, or research grants. The importance of scholarships. Scholarships are more than just financial aid, they are acknowledgments of academic excellence, leadership, and potential. For international students, scholarships can play a crucial role in their decision to pursue their studies in Canada. Affordability, reducing the cost of living and studying in one of the world's most expensive countries. Networking opportunities, many scholarships come with mentorship programs or networking events. Career advancement, receiving a scholarship can enhance your resume, providing opportunities for prestigious jobs or pursuing further academic pursuits. Government-funded scholarships. Global Affairs Canada scholarships. The Study in Canada scholarships aim to offer short-term exchange opportunities for study or research at Canadian post-secondary institutions. These scholarships are available in a variety of countries, with a specific focus on regions such as Sub-Saharan Africa, Asia, and Latin America. The scholarships provide up to $500 for administrative costs plus tuition, living expenses, and sometimes travel. Eligibility often depends on your home country and the program you're applying for. Vanier Canada Graduate Scholarships, one of the most prestigious awards in Canada, the Vanier CGS is for doctoral students demonstrating leadership and a high standard of scholarly achievement. With an annual value of $50,000 for 3 years, it's significant financial aid for international PhD students. The Banting Postdoctoral Fellowships are primarily for Canadian citizens, but international students can also apply if they are pursuing postdoctoral research in Canada. The fellowship offers $70,000 per year for 2 years, aiming to attract and retain top-tier researchers. Provincial and territorial scholarships. Ontario Trillium scholarships, focused on doctoral students. These scholarships are worth $40,000 annually and aim to attract the best minds to Ontario universities. Quebec Merit scholarships for foreign students, offered by the Government of Quebec. These include the Fonds de Recherche du Québec, which supports research at various levels from master's to postdoctoral. University-specific scholarships. University of Toronto. Lester B. Pearson International Scholarships. This prestigious scholarship recognizes international students for academic excellence, creativity, and leadership. It covers tuition, books, incidental fees, and full residence support for 4 years, with approximately 37 scholarships awarded each year. University of British Columbia. International Major Entrance Scholarships. UBC offers these to exceptional international students entering undergraduate programs. The scholarship value ranges from $10,000 to $20,000 per year and is renewable for up to 3 additional years. Outstanding International Student Award, a one-time award for students showing academic strength and extracurricular involvement, valued between $10,000 and $25,000. University of Waterloo. International Masters Award of Excellence. This scholarship supports international master's students in research programs, offering $2,500 per term for up to 5 terms. University of Calgary. International Entrance Scholarship, aimed at undergraduate students. This scholarship provides up to $60,000 over 4 years, focusing on academic merit. York University. The International Student Scholarship Program, which offers up to $180,000 for a 4-year degree, caters to students who have excelled academically. McGill University. McGill University Scholarships. McGill offers various scholarships for international students at different levels, with amounts varying from $8,500 for undergraduates to research grants for graduate students. University of Winnipeg. University of Winnipeg President's Scholarships. These range from $3,500 to $5,000 for international students entering any division of the university. Private and external scholarships. Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation Scholarships. Open to international students in social sciences and humanities doctoral programs. These scholarships offer up to $60,000 per year for 3 years, including travel allowances. Envolay Ecological Fund. For international students undertaking animal research at the doctoral level in Quebec or British Columbia, this fund provides financial support based on the research's significance. How to apply for scholarships. Steps to success. Research. Begin by researching all possible scholarships for which you might qualify. University portals are invaluable. Check eligibility. Each scholarship has specific criteria. Ensure you meet these before applying. Prepare documents. Common requirements include transcripts, letters of recommendation, personal statements, and sometimes interviews or additional essays. Apply early. Many scholarships have strict deadlines, and applying early can increase your chances, especially for those with rolling admissions. Follow instructions. Pay meticulous attention to application details, formats, and submission guidelines. Seek support. Use resources like University International Student Offices or scholarship consultants for guidance. Tips for winning scholarships. Showcase your unique qualities. Your application should highlight what makes you stand out, be it academic excellence, community service, or unique research interests. Tailor your application. Customize your application for each scholarship, focusing on how your background aligns with the scholarship's goals. Proofread. Errors can undermine your application, so ensure everything is perfect. Engage in extracurriculars. Many scholarships look for well-rounded individuals, so participation in clubs, volunteer work, or leadership roles can be beneficial. Challenges and opportunities. Challenges. Competition. The high number of applicants for limited spots can make securing a scholarship challenging. Cultural and language barriers. For some, adapting to the Canadian educational system and language can pose hurdles. Complexity. The application process can be complex, requiring detailed preparation and understanding of Canadian educational nuances. Opportunities. Networking. Scholarship programs often connect you with influential figures in academia and industry. Skill development. The application process itself helps develop crucial skills like writing, self-presentation, and strategic planning. Financial freedom allows students to focus more on their studies rather than part-time work. In the future, the landscape of scholarships in Canada is expected to evolve as follows. Increased focus on STEM. With the push towards innovation, there could be growth in scholarships in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Sustainability and social impact. There's a rising trend toward scholarships supporting projects with environmental or social benefits. Digital transformation. The application process is becoming more digital, potentially making it easier for international students to apply from anywhere. For international students, Canada offers a wealth of opportunities through its scholarship programs. These not only provide financial support but also enrich the educational experience by fostering a diverse, multicultural learning environment. As you plan your academic journey, remember that securing a scholarship is as much about showcasing your potential as it is about diligent application and preparation. With the right strategy and perseverance, the dream of studying in Canada can become a well-funded reality. Latest Express Entry Draws 2024, new rounds of invitations. IRCC issued 800 permanent residency invitations in the latest Express Entry Draw targeting profiles with Level 7 in French on December 3 and a CRS score of 466 or above. Yesterday, 676 invitations to apply for permanent residency were sent under the provincial nominee program on December 2nd. CRS cutoff score 705. Courts warn of critical budget pressures as immigration cases delayed in Canada's three largest cities. Justice Minister to meet with Chief Justices of 4 federal courts Friday to discuss backlog, budget shortfall. Federal Justice Minister Arif Virani is set to meet with the Chief Justices of Canada's 4 federal courts on Friday, after they warned of a budgetary shortfall creating critical pressure on their operations, including efforts to clear a backlog of immigration filings in 3 major cities. The federal court alone is estimating that it's on track for an almost 50% increase in the filings this year. The 4 courts also said they have an estimated $35 million annual gap in funding impacting court operations. The National Post first reported about the budgetary issues faced by the courts on Thursday. At a minimum, cases will take longer to be heard, and modernization efforts will be slowed down or stopped, to the detriment of litigants and access to justice, the court's administration service. The arm's-length federal body serves the federal court and Canada's 3 other federal courts, the Federal Court of Appeal, the Court Martial Appeal Court of Canada, and the Tax Court of Canada. Trudeau says he could have acted faster to make immigration changes, blames bad actors. A new survey finds Canadians are feeling anxious about immigration. Immigration cases are already being delayed and are not being heard within the statutory time limit, the CAS said. It noted that the federal court expects to reach 24,000 immigration and refugee case filings this year, an increase of 44% over 2023, and quadruple the average number of filings it had in the pre-COVID days. According to the CAS, nearly 500 cases have been delayed beyond the required 90-day limit in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. It said the additional wait time is 9 weeks in Toronto and Vancouver and 12 in Montreal. It also said the federal court registry can only process half the documents it receives within its 48-hour service standard. It said, the existing situation can add 3 to 30 days to the overall time a file is active. Immigration lawyers say clients feel the impact. 2 immigration lawyers who spoke to CBC News said the case delays have severe consequences for their clients. The fact that the federal court seems to be bursting at the seams with immigration cases leads me to believe that the system is backlogged, said Lisa Middlemiss, who practices immigration law in Montreal. It is clogged, and it's all sort of ending up on the desk of the federal court as people litigate these lengthy processing delays and refusals. A range of cases, from refugee hearings to study or work permit applications, can end up landing on the federal court bench after initial refusal by other tribunals. It's an issue of access to justice for applicants, some of whom may be in Canada and may be waiting, easily, 14 to 18 months for a hearing, Middlemiss said. Liberal government's immigration plan will cut housing gap almost in half, report says. New immigration rules raise fears that northern BC will lose foreign students and workers. Erin Roth, a Vancouver immigration lawyer, said the court's registry office now takes 2 to 4 weeks to accept our notices for filing. She said she just received a note that a decision on a client's file had been made, but she couldn't see it because it had yet to be officially translated. The threat of mass deportations. Both lawyers also said the threat by U.S. President-elect Donald Trump to conduct mass deportation of millions of undocumented migrants could eventually make the current delays worse. Every day we're being contacted by people with great levels of fear, Roth said. And we don't know how much of what's being said will be implemented into policy. Middlemiss says if migrants flee to Canada and end up making asylum claim applications here, some of those cases may eventually be contested if they're refused and may end up on the federal court, on the desks of the judges. Aldo Mendoza, a graduate of the computer engineering program at the University of Ottawa, is currently waiting for the federal court's judicial review of a decision by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada to reject his application for a post-graduation work permit, a document that would allow the Mexican immigrant to work in Canada. The court has yet to give him and his lawyer a hearing date. he said, adding this has had both financial and social impacts. Ontario to introduce legislation protecting newcomers from fraud and exploitation. Canada prepares for a rise in border crossings with the threat of mass deportations under Trump. He says he's worried about leaving Canada to go see his family in Mexico for the holidays because he's not sure if he'll be allowed back in when he returns. It keeps you wondering if you'll ever have a chance to settle down or have control of your life again. Ottawa to identify sustainable solutions. In a statement, Virani's office said that when the Justice Minister meets the 4 justices on Friday, he will discuss their needs and try to identify sustainable solutions. The office also said Virani has appointed 178 judges since he came into office in July 2023, with more than 96% of judicial positions across the country filled, and only 5 vacancies at the federal court. The risks of immigration misinformation to Canada's international students. Canadian immigration expert Laura Skimage outlines how much of a danger political hostility towards immigration is to the country's international education sector. As Canada's approach to its immigration system, particularly its international student program, reaches a tipping point, its global reputation as a promising destination for hard-working students and skilled talent could be seriously threatened, a risk the country cannot afford given its aging population. On October 24, 2024, IRCC released the 2025 to 2027 Immigration Levels Plan, which included a significant 20% reduction to permanent resident targets and, for the first time, temporary resident targets for international students and temporary foreign workers. On the same day, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau tweeted, and American President-elect Donald Trump notably retweeted, "We're going to significantly reduce the number of immigrants coming to Canada for the next 2 years. This is temporary to pause our population growth and let our economy catch up. We have to get the system working right for all Canadians." Immigration has been a hot political topic lately, and these measures are emblematic of a substantial shift in public support for immigration in Canada over the past couple of years. A new reality has unfolded across the country, with anti-immigration sentiment surging, largely influenced by mixed messaging in traditional media and, increasingly, social media due to conflations between high rates of immigration and rising housing costs and inflation. An October 2022 poll by the Environics Institute found that 10 out of 10 Canadians were supportive of current immigration levels, marking the largest majority recorded by Environics in 45 years. This is in stark contrast to an October 2024 Environics Institute report that demonstrates almost 6 out of 10 Canadians believe Canada accepts too many immigrants. The report further shows that Canadians who believe there is too much immigration cite concerns over lack of housing, the economy, overpopulation, and potential strain on public finances, and an increasing minority 39% of Canadians believe too many immigrants are accepted from racial minority groups and that 35% think immigration increases crime levels. Anti-immigrant sentiment espoused by politicians creates further division in society and is likely to result in increased incidents of violence and discrimination against racialized people in Canada. Misguided news reports discussing incidents of crime carried out by international students, citing data on foreign nationals, which includes but is not specific to international students, surely conflates issues and risks further disseminating misinformation and anti-immigrant sentiments. Recent reports indicating nearly 14,000 asylum claims have been filed by international students in Canada in 2024 will undoubtedly cause panic and questioning of Canada's important asylum system. In response, Immigration Minister Mark Miller has recently hinted at plans to fast-track refugee refusals. This dramatic shift is concerning given the importance of immigration for Canada's economic prosperity and longevity, which are dependent on immigration. The availability of a strong, robust, and qualified tax-paying labor force positively contributes to funding public services, such as healthcare and education, and Canada's overall economy. This need for immigration is largely due to Canada's aging population, with 5 million Canadians set to retire by 2030. Earlier this year, Carolyn Rogers, the Senior Deputy Governor of the Bank of Canada, spoke about Canada's long-standing, poor record on productivity and reported that immigration is driving the increase in Canada's workforce. This speech further highlighted the importance of leveraging and developing the skills of new immigrants as crucial to the future of Canada's economy. Despite its importance, the increasing unpredictability of Canada's immigration system is likely to jeopardize its integrity and global reputation. The many consequences of an immigration misinformation era remain to be seen and are complex and far-reaching. In July 2024, Randall Bartlett, Senior Director of Canadian Economics for Desjardins, reported on research that indicated that reducing population growth through decreased temporary resident admissions will reduce both real gross domestic product growth and inflation, with resulting lower revenues leading to larger deficits and higher debt. An October 2024 report by Bartlett further warned of a risk of recession if the federal government successfully reduces the number of temporary residents to 5% of Canada's population over the next 3 years, since this would necessitate a decrease of approximately 1 million people. In a brief YouTube video released on November 17, 2024, Prime Minister Trudeau set out to explain why Canada was changing its immigration system and blaming several bad and really bad actors. However, this is a complex issue, and while he explains the goal of these temporary measures, capping intake on international students, is to pause Canada's population, he does not address how this will be accomplished without sending the country into a recession, as noted above. The Prime Minister acknowledges in this video that an increase in temporary overseas workers after the pandemic was critical in avoiding a recession. The Prime Minister also states that most temporary residents who lose status will go home, which is doubtful in reality, as many of these temporary residents have been living in Canada for years, are well established, and are seeking to find ways to remain. Many international students receive advice from their university or college's international student advisors regarding ways to challenge immigration refusals, including making reconsideration requests, restoration applications, and judicial reviews in the federal court. The International Student Program has seen significant changes in 2024. For example, without any notice, IRCC ended the Student Direct Stream on November 8, 2024. The SDS streamlined and expedited applications for international students from 14 countries, including India and China. Additionally, as of November 15, 2024, international students are now required to apply for and receive a new study permit before changing learning institutions. This is an onerous departure from the previous norm and may result in increasing, rather than decreasing, the backlog of applications. Canadian post-secondary institutions are already reporting waning interest, particularly amongst Indian students, who represent almost half of all international students in Canada. Canada has reportedly quickly fallen to fourth place as a top destination for international students according to an October 2024 report by ICE Monitor, as students seek to study in Europe, Australia, the UK, or the US instead. The re-election of Trump in the 2024 American election will undoubtedly have further negative impacts on the situation in Canada. According to a 2022 report by the Migration Policy Institute, Trump's election brought into mainstream political discourse the previously fringe idea that legal immigration is a threat to the United States economy and security. A Gallup poll has identified immigration as the most important problem in the U.S. for 27% of Americans. As part of his platform, Trump took advantage of these increasingly negative sentiments to promote his hardline immigration policies as part of his 2024 election platform, including plans to deport millions of unauthorized people. Recently, international students in Canada have been protesting the recent changes, especially as thousands may face deportation. Recent reports indicate that Canada refused entry to almost 6,000 foreign nationals, students, workers, and tourists, in July 2024, the highest number since January 2019. Canada is also reportedly deporting migrants at the highest rate in more than a decade. Rather than blaming immigrants, Canada must improve its immigration system to facilitate the entry of skilled immigrants needed to resolve ongoing labor shortages and increase the housing supply. Beyond the humanitarian concerns, removing thousands of educated and skilled foreign nationals from Canada cannot possibly be the right solution, particularly in light of the long-term need for immigration. In many ways, the media is failing to relay an important message, backed up by the Bank of Canada and senior economists, that immigration is essential to Canada in the long term. Arbitrary limits and pauses to immigration could have long-term negative impacts on Canada's global reputation and economic growth. As skilled immigrants either voluntarily leave or are forced out, Canada's reputation is likely to suffer at a time when it cannot afford to be damaged. How can the government ensure that this pause will not have far-reaching and long-term impacts that negatively impact Canada's labor force and economic prosperity? In the U.S., Donald Trump has confirmed he will utilize the military to conduct mass deportations. How long would it take for Canada's reputation to repair if it follows suit and increases removals? Innovation and progress will surely suffer, and so will Canada's ability to attract the best talent. It is in Canada's best interests for the government to advocate the crucial benefits of immigration and policies that align with Canada's long-term economic goals. Rather than blaming temporary residents, the government must implement stricter penalties for non-compliance by bad actors and align intake goals with in-demand industries and long-term economic goals. A properly functioning immigration system is critical to attracting and retaining foreign workers, particularly in the construction and health sectors, and preventing onward migration. The government could also increase pathways for entrepreneurs who can stimulate the economy with significant minimum investments and job creation. It is clear from the pandemic-related labor shortages, Canada cannot afford to lose more skilled talent in the short and long term. Trump right about Canada's immigration problem? Report flags huge rise in clandestine border crossings. A CBSA intelligence document reveals a significant rise in illegal border crossings between Canada and the US, sparking concerns about people smuggling and raising questions about the Canadian government's awareness and response. Intelligence experts within Canada's border agency alerted the Federal Immigration Department last December about a significant increase in illegal crossings at the Canada-US border, including into the US, raising questions about why action to address the issue wasn't taken earlier. According to the Globe and Mail report, an intelligence document shared with senior officials at Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada revealed that smugglers were facilitating border crossings in both directions. Some foreign nationals were flying into Canada at major airports and quickly crossing into the US. These clandestine entries have resulted in thousands of refugee claims, primarily in the Greater Toronto Area, added the report, citing Canada Border Services Agency's intelligence analysis. The document says the southbound movement into the US has grown significantly since 2022, adding that the majority of individuals who attempt to cross southbound illegally arrive by air, mainly at Montreal Trudeau International Airport and Toronto Pearson International Airport, and move quickly. It found that the vast majority were very likely in Canada for less than 6 months, of which a large portion were in Canada for less than 3 weeks, the report added. Ministers have insisted in recent weeks, amid heightened tensions between U.S. President-elect Donald Trump and Ottawa over illegal immigration into the U.S., that Canada's borders are secure. But the emergence of the detailed analysis by the CBSA's Intelligence and Investigations Directorate raises questions about whether ministers were ignorant of the extent of people smuggling into the U.S. from Canada, and in the other direction. Trump warned that when he returns to office, both Canada and Mexico will face 25% tariffs on their products unless they take stronger action on illegal border crossings and drug trafficking into the U.S. In response, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Public Safety Minister Dominic LeBlanc pledged additional funding for helicopters, drones, sensors, and border patrols. Immigration lawyer Richard Kurland, who obtained the document through access to information laws, told the Globe and Mail that it confirms Trump's concerns about border crossings from Canada and shows that Ottawa was aware of the situation at least a year ago. There's a disconnect between what the Ottawa politicians are saying and what they knew, he was quoted as saying. According to the report, Renee Proctor, spokesperson for Immigration Minister Mark Miller, declined to comment on whether the minister has seen the intelligence placemat circulated among senior department officials in December. The CBSA briefing reveals that since the closure of Roxham Road in Quebec in 2023, which stopped immediate asylum claims under the Safe Third Country Agreement with the U.S., illegal border crossings into Canada have surged. While people fleeing unsafe conditions are entitled to asylum, those who cross clandestinely can apply after 14 days in Canada. The report elicit between the port's movements, April to September 2023, states, clandestine entry into Canada has grown exponentially since the implementation of the additional protocol to the Safe Third Country Agreement. It further reports that between April and September 2023, approximately 1,921 refugee claims were made following clandestine entries, with the actual number likely higher. Opposition politicians have expressed concern over a potential migrant influx from the U.S., especially after Trump threatened to deport 11 million undocumented people. The CBSA intelligence report also details human smuggling operations, with payments ranging from $3,200 to $45,000. Smuggling networks, varying in sophistication, exploit migrants, often placing them in dangerous conditions. The report highlights the increasing use of smuggling routes by nationals from countries like India, Mexico, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, and Turkey. Indian nationals have exploited visitor visas to enter Canada illegally, while Sri Lankans have been known to use fraudulent documents. Afghans make up the largest group of clandestine entrants, often arriving via Brazil, while Colombians and Afghans are typically smuggled into British Columbia. Rebecca Purdy, a CBSA spokesperson, confirmed the document was shared with IRCC and RCMP and that ongoing investigations into human smuggling are underway. Mary Rose Sabater, an IRCC spokesperson, emphasized the department's collaboration with CBSA and RCMP to enforce immigration laws. As Canada navigates its evolving immigration challenges, from providing adequate scholarships for international students to addressing delayed cases and managing border security, the need for clarity and efficiency becomes crucial. Tackling misinformation and ensuring fair, transparent processes will help Canada continue to be a desirable destination for students and immigrants alike. With ongoing policy shifts and global attention, Canada's approach in 2024 and beyond will play a pivotal role in shaping its identity as a welcoming nation for the world's talent and ambition. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.